The cards are saying something you may have already felt but didn't have the courage to admit out loud. There is a phrase that came through very clearly as an intuitive message before I laid down the first card. "I don't want this anymore" is not a phrase of whim, it's a phrase of exhaustion for something you've done, carried, endured without it bringing you any real joy. The cards show a climax and they also show what comes after it if you finally choose to listen to yourself. Stay with me because what comes next cannot be ignored. Welcome to the reading for Cancer, Sun, or Rising. During the shuffling, the energy was not an easy one. It was dense, heavy in a way. Not bad, but heavy like a sack you've been carrying without putting down for a long time. The expression, "I don't want this anymore," is not a loud rebellion, it's a quiet exhaustion, like the kind that comes after you've done something for a long time without asking yourself if it's really good for you. The message I felt is about a pivotal moment that makes you decide in your own favor, about listening to your feelings but also your reason, about self-appreciation, valuing yourself, self-worth, wisdom, healing, and trust in your own strength. And all the cards, without exception, confirm exactly that. Before we go into detail about the 6 main positions, I want to mention that quite a few additional cards came out. The first one that came up is the 10 of Swords. This card depicts a figure lying on the ground with 10 swords stabbed in their back. It is the hardest card in the minor arcana, but it holds a secret. It is also the most liberating because after the 10 of Swords there is no 11. It is the end, the lowest point, and from here, the only possible direction is up. The second card, the 10 of Wands. A man carrying 10 staffs on his back, bent under the weight, almost home but exhausted. This is the burden carried for too long. Exactly what I felt while shuffling. I can't carry this anymore. The third card, the Moon. An uncertain path under a shifting light, old instincts and fears that surface. The Moon doesn't lie, but it doesn't tell everything either. It invites you to look beyond appearances, to listen to your intuition more than your panic. The Moon can also mean illusions, secrets, intrigues, or in some cases, gossip. That's why the card urges you to be wise, to have patience until you find out the truth or the reason, and then to make the right decision or take the appropriate attitude accordingly. The fourth card, the 2 of Wands. A person holding the world in their hands, looking toward the horizon, thinking about the next step, the decision, the plan, the choice that follows. The fifth card, Temperance. An angel carefully pouring energy between 2 vessels, finding the right rhythm. Not extremes, not haste, but healing through balance, this card tells us. The 6th card, the World, the card of fulfilled completion, of integration, of a cycle that ends completely. Not abruptly, not painfully, but naturally, because everything has found its place. It can also mean the end of a karma, the learning of a lesson. Even if in some cases it was painful, this experience was necessary. In short, the story these additional cards tell is that you have carried a burden to its lowest point. Now you need to see beyond the illusion, to make a choice with balance, not out of desperation. And this leads you toward a complete, fulfilled closure. This is not a coincidence. It is the exact map of what you are experiencing right now. In the past, we have the Queen of Pentacles, a woman on a throne in an abundant garden holding a pentacle in her hand with the care one would give a child. Her energy is one of practical abundance, but also of constant care for others. For you, Cancer, this means that you have built, you have cared, you have provided stability. You have been the queen or king of your own home, your own family, your own responsibilities, and you have done it well. But the Queen of Pentacles or coins also has a shadow side. She can give so much of herself that she forgets to take care of herself as well. Your past is full of care given to others. The question the cards leave open is, who has taken care of you? In the present, we have the Tower, so the present brings a card that leaves no room for doubt. A tower struck by lightning, the crown flying off. 2 people are falling from it. It is one of the most dramatic cards in the entire tarot, and yet it is not a bad card. It is a card of forced truth, I might say. The tower collapses because the structure underneath was no longer real or stable, not because you made a mistake, but because what you built on a false, insecure, or shifting foundation can no longer stand. And here it connects directly with the message from the shuffling, I don't want this anymore. The tower is exactly that climactic moment, that feeling that you can no longer go on exactly as you have been. Something has broken or is about to break. And paradoxically, this is a moment of liberation, not of punishment. You don't fight the tower, you let it do what it needs to do, because from beneath the rubble, you build something real and lasting. In the future, we have the Two of Cups. Two people face to face offer each other cups with a winged lion above them, a symbol of deep emotional connection, reciprocity, and healing through relationship. After the tower, which breaks down what was no longer real, comes the Two of Cups, which builds what is real. It's not necessarily about a new romantic relationship, although it can be that as well. It's more deeply about the balance between giving and receiving, about a connection with someone else or with yourself, based on reciprocity, not on one-sided sacrifice. This is the likely direction. What is collapsing now in the present is making room for a healthier, more balanced connection in the future. Regarding your health and well-being, we have the Nine of Pentacles. It depicts a woman standing alone in a lush and flourishing garden, with a hooded falcon perched calmly on her hand. It is the card of controlled self-sufficiency, of abundance created through one's own effort without needing external validation anymore. For your health, Cancer, the message is about recognizing your own ability to support yourself. You are not dependent on others for your well-being. You have the energetic, emotional, and physical resources to take care of yourself if you choose to use them for yourself, not just for others. In your career, we have the Nine of Wands. A tired person but still standing, holding on to a staff with 8 staffs behind them. They are close to the end but exhausted. It is perseverance pushed to the limit. This once again confirms the theme of burden. At work or in your professional responsibilities, you have carried a lot. You have persevered a lot. You are close to the finish line, but the card warns you. Don't force yourself to continue at exactly the same pace, without a break, without support. The final effort should be made with wisdom, not with desperation. When it comes to love, and here the section becomes about love or relationships, because the energy also affects family dynamics or friendships, not just couples, the devil appears. The devil shows a horned figure with 2 people chained at his feet. But if we look more closely, the chains are loose, they can be removed. This is self-imposed slavery, not an eternal condemnation. This is probably the most direct card in the entire reading regarding the central theme. The devil, in love or relationships, speaks about an attachment that no longer brings real joy. Something you do out of obligation, out of fear of losing, from an old pattern, not necessarily from genuine desire. I'm not saying the relationship is automatically toxic. I'm saying that there is a part of it that has become automatic, not a conscious choice. And the cards show you this. The chain can be removed. You have this power no matter how hard it may be to believe right now. The devil can also signify an addiction or an unhealthy habit that can disrupt the proper functioning of the connection. That's why it's important for the negativity or that addiction, that habit, to be identified and corrected as much as possible. In some situations, it is encouraged to seek help from a specialist, such as a psychologist or a support group, because asking for help is not a shame, but rather a form of courage and determination. And because for career we had the Nine of Wands, I want to point out that even working overtime repeatedly, overworking, or any other imbalance is an unhealthy habit. At the base of the spread, the energy supporting this entire reading, 2 cards appeared, the Magician and the Knight of Wands. The magician stands with one hand extended upward toward the sky and the other toward the earth. We also see the symbol of infinity above his head. He has all the tools on the table to manifest, to turn intention into reality. The fundamental message is, you already have everything you need. Nothing is missing for the change that the cards indicate. The Knight of Wands gallops forward with determination and passion without looking back. It is the courage to act quickly with confidence when the moment is right. The foundation of this reading is you have the tools and you also have the courage. The only question that remains is whether you will use them. Let's now see what the other decks confirm. The Moon Phases cards tell you to take control and make the first move with the full moon in a cardinal astrological sign. This is the energy of direct initiative. Next comes the message. Show others who you truly are under the full moon in Aquarius, which is the energy of unrestrained authenticity. Then you are told that you are about to receive the answers you have been waiting for. Full moon in Gemini. Another message tells you to look at the bigger picture with the full moon in Sagittarius, and the key is communication with the new moon in Gemini. At the bottom of the deck, we have transcend your fears with the new moon in Scorpio. This is exactly the energy of deep transformation shown by the Tower. And if you want to fulfill your dreams, you need a pragmatic plan. Full moon in Taurus, which basically confirms the magician. You need structure, not just intention. Then the timing cards revealed something unusual. A card called Alpha and Omega without a fixed number represents the beginning and the end with the message, you are free to choose the moment. This is a direct confirmation. There is no deadline imposed from the outside. The moment of decision is yours, exactly when you are ready. Next, we have Scorpio with the vibration of 8 and the phrase heal the wounds. The vibration of 8 represents the number of power, balance, and karma. What you have given without receiving in return, what you have ignored within yourself for too long, now demands to be brought back into balance. Healing does not happen on its own. It is built actively, with strength and commitment. Next is Leo with the number 5. The message is release the power of your heart. In numerology, the number 5 means change, freedom, the courage to do things differently. The power of your heart is not released by waiting. It is released when you take the step, even when you don't know exactly where it will lead. At the bottom of the time deck, your card appeared, Cancer, your direct sign with the message respect your feelings, which brings the vibration of 4. It's no coincidence that your sign appears exactly at the bottom of this set. This is the clearest possible confirmation. Respect your feelings is the central message of the entire reading. And another card with the number 4 also appeared, sending you the message you can build something. The vibration of 4 means foundation, stability, lasting construction. The message of these two cards together is simple and profound. When you respect your feelings, that is the foundation on which you can build something real. Now let's see the message from the stones and plants. And we have malachite with burdock, protection and emotional transformation, aventurine with horsetail, calm, courage and clarity, peridot with basil, release from old burdens, emotional prosperity. At the base we have alexandrite with vervain, transformation and calming of the nervous system, and citrine with orange peel, which bring optimism and solar energy for the new cycle. The seasons have brought a card called Vlasia, a feminine figure in the Vlasia woods, that ancient and deep forest in southern Romania, a place of roots, of collective memory, of nature that is in no hurry. The silvery leaves falling around her are not a sign of loss. In symbolic tradition, silver is the color of the moon, of feminine intuition, of wisdom that comes from within. The falling leaves signify a natural release, not a tearing away. The white butterfly she releases with a gentle gesture is one of the most powerful symbols of the soul's transformation. White means purity, a new beginning, a cleansed energy. And we see that she smiles, she does not cry after letting go. She gives thanks for what was and smiles toward what is to come. The warm light in the background, that autumn sunset, is not a sad ending. It is the light that comes after you have let go of what was no longer yours. Because autumn does not speak of loss, it speaks of wisdom, of shedding what is no longer needed, of the courage to let your true self be seen, of cycles, acceptance, and release. The tree that lets go of its leaves does not die, it prepares itself. At the base of this deck, Summer and October appeared. Summer brings a woman in a flowing dress in a lavender field with white butterflies around her. Lavender is the plant of emotional release, calm, and healing. And the white butterflies confirm the same message as at Vlasia. Pure, gentle transformation, not dramatic. October comes with chrysanthemums, the flower that blooms just when everything else is getting ready to sleep. The chrysanthemum is the flower of wisdom gained through experience and also the flower of quiet courage. It is also the flower that honors what has been. Memory, cycles, recognition for the journey, not an ending, but a crowning that appears just when you least expect it. The angels spoke a great deal. We have 15 messages, all forming the same narrative. Self-analyze, compassion, make a wish. You already know. Prove your abilities. Have faith. Ask for a sign. Divine timing. Divine purpose. Pray. Be patient. Learn something new. Send love. Share your wisdom. Download relaxation. You need it. The Virgin Mary and Archangel Metatron. Two guides of protection and divine clarity, present exactly when you need them. At the bottom of the deck, as I mentioned, we had self-reflection and compassion, exactly the tools you need for this transition. Gentleness towards yourself and the courage to look honestly. And finally, the positive messages, 15 affirmations like a choir confirming everything we've seen so far. I let go of all criticism. I turned every experience into an opportunity. I am in the process of positive change. Life is simple and easy. Life supports me. I deserve to be loved. I forgive myself. I am everything for everyone, including myself. Every thought creates my future. The past is gone. I listen with love to the messages of my body. There is no guilt. I am safe. It is only a change. All is well in my world, and for some of you, now I am creating a new and wonderful job. Cancer. If I were to sum up everything these books have said, all of them without exception, into a single thread, it would be this. You have carried a burden to the point where you can't anymore, and it is not a weakness that you have reached this point. It is a signal. 10 of Wands, 10 of Swords, 9 of Wands. They all say the same thing with different voices. You have given too much for too long without asking yourself what you want. The Tower came to tear down what was no longer real, not as a punishment but as a forced liberation, because on your own you may not have had the courage or determination to do it until now. And everything that comes after the Two of Cups, the World, Temperance, the messages from the angels, the positive affirmations, and even the Cancer card at the bottom of the deck of time that tells you directly to respect your feelings, all build the same bridge. From exhaustion to conscious choice, from I don't want this anymore to I choose for myself. You have the tools. The Magician confirms this. You have the courage. The Knight of Wands confirms that too. The only question left is whether you allow yourself, whether you give yourself permission. Cancer, I don't want this anymore is not a weakness. It is wisdom speaking when you've carried too much for too long without asking yourself what you truly want. The climax doesn't come to punish you, it comes to set you free. You have the tools, you have the courage, and finally, you have the permission. Honor your feelings, the rest will fall into place from there. Before we finish, I want to remind you that this reading is a general one, reflecting the collective energy of the Cancer sign or ascendant, and not a personalized reading. So only take what you feel resonates with you and leave the rest. If you found this helpful, I encourage you to hit like and share it further, as the message might reach someone who needs to hear it. Also, I suggest you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to stay updated with new videos for your zodiac sign, as well as the upcoming specific messages. If you felt that you resonated, I'm looking forward to your thoughts in the comments. What is that thing you feel you no longer want to carry? I read every response. That's all I had for you. May it be useful to you. Sending you my love. Until next time.